As the brilliant healer's new life in the shadows navigates its debut season in spring 2025, this light novel adaptation by Macaria continues to carve a niche within the crowded fantasy anime landscape. Episode 8, titled The Royal Hospital, aired on May 22, 2025, and marks the start of the Royal Institute of Healing arc, shifting Zenith's underground healer saga into the opulent yet treacherous world of the royal elite. This episode is a tantalizing blend of mystery and ambition, captivating me with its promise of deeper stakes while frustrating me with its uneven execution. Transitioning from Episode 7's lighthearted hot spring escapade, where Zenith's demi-human companions orchestrated a chaotic attempt at relaxation, Episode 8 thrusts the healer into a high-stakes investigation at the Royal Hospital. Dr. Bernardo Becker, a senior healer, enlists Zenith to probe the mysterious disappearance of Alfred, a royal healer. Accompanied by Human, Becker's apprentice, Zenith navigates the hospital's labyrinthine corridors, uncovering hints of a conspiracy tied to his enigmatic mentor. Meanwhile, Lily and the demi-human girls, Zofia, Linga, and Loie, monitor from the slums, their loyalty tested by rumors of Zenith's growing fame. The episode ends with a cryptic clue about Alfred's fate, pointing to a hidden faction within the Institute. Episode 8 advances the narrative by pulling Zenith from his shadowy clinic into the spotlight of the Royal Hospital, a move that signals a shift from localized healing to systemic intrigue. The revelation of Alfred's disappearance and its potential link to Zenith's mentor is a pivotal turning point, suggesting a conspiracy that could challenge the Healers Guild's authority. I think the episode effectively sets up the new arc by introducing stakes beyond Zenith's personal redemption, but it leaves questions from prior episodes, such as Krishna's backstory, unresolved, which feels like a missed opportunity. The pacing is balanced, with investigative scenes interspersed with brief action, though I found the slow unraveling of the hospital's secrets occasionally dragging. As the episode prioritizes setup over immediate payoff, Zenith remains the central figure, his naive yet steadfast dedication to healing shining through as he navigates the hospital's politics. His hesitation when questioned about his unlicensed status reveals a flicker of self-doubt, adding depth to his otherwise oblivious persona. I really appreciate this glimpse into his vulnerability, though I don't think his growth is substantial enough to elevate him beyond his trope-heavy archetype. Human, a new character, emerges as a curious foil, her admiration for Zenith clashing with her loyalty to Becker. Becker, voiced with commanding gravitas, hints at ulterior motives, but his limited screen time curbs his impact. Lily and the demi-human girls are sidelined, their bickering at the clinic feeling repetitive. I didn't like how their roles are reduced to comic relief, stunting their development. The characters' actions align with their established traits, but only Zenith and Human show subtle evolution. The episode explores themes of redemption, trust, and the tension between individual talent and institutional power. Zenith's journey into the Royal Hospital underscores his quest to redeem his past rejection, while his interactions with Human highlight the fragility of trust in a hierarchical system. The conspiracy hints at the abuse of healing as a tool for control, a theme echoed in Zenith's remark, "Healing shouldn't be a privilege." I think the episode conveys these ideas through its narrative, but the rushed introduction of the hospital's politics dilutes their weight. I personally don't understand why the narrative doesn't delve deeper into the moral implications of the Healers Guild, which could have enriched the thematic texture. Episode 8 enriches the world by introducing the Royal Hospital, a grand institution that contrasts sharply with the slum's decay. The hospital's rigid hierarchy and guarded secrets reflect the Healers Guild's monopolistic grip, while references to unlicensed healers facing exile add stakes to Zenith's mission. I think these elements effectively expand the world's political and cultural layers, though I don't think the episode fully explores the hospital's inner workings, leaving its rules vague. The mention of Zenith's mentor as a former royal healer adds historical intrigue, but I didn't like how it's left as a teaser rather than a developed thread. The dialogue is functional but uneven, with poignant moments like Zenith's "I heal because it's right" carrying emotional weight. However, expository exchanges, such as Becker's explanation of the hospital structure, feel stilted and overly didactic. Human's earnest questions about Zenith's methods add charm, but the demi-human girls banter back at the clinic veers into cliché harem territory. I didn't like how the writing leans on familiar tropes, like the oblivious hero surrounded by adoring girls, which undermines the episode's serious tone. The script shines in quiet character moments but falters in integrating the conspiracy organically. Macaria's animation is serviceable but lacks polish, with the Royal Hospital's ornate halls rendered in vibrant golds and whites that contrast the slum's muted tones. Zenith's investigation scenes are fluid, particularly a brief scuffle with a guard, but facial expressions, like Human's wide-eyed awe, feel exaggerated. Director Joe Yashizaki employs moody lighting and tight shots to evoke the hospital's secrecy, with a tracking shot through its corridors amplifying tension. tension. The framing of Zenas standing alone in the Institute's atrium underscores his outsider status. Episode 8 evokes curiosity and mild tension, with Zenas' probe into Alfred's disappearance stirring intrigue. The moment he uncovers a hidden journal hinting at his mentor's past is quietly gripping, though the episode's slow build tempers its impact. The demi-human girl's loyalty, despite their comic antics, adds a touch of warmth. I found the episode engaging but not deeply moving, as its focus on setup overshadows emotional resonance. It prompts reflection on the ethics of healing but lacks the punch to make it memorable. I don't think it's the series' strongest, but its cliffhanger keeps me invested. The episode's core lesson lies in the power of purpose over privilege. Zenas' unlicensed healing, driven by compassion rather than institutional approval, challenges the notion that authority defines worth, suggesting that true redemption comes from serving others despite adversity. The brilliant healer's new life in the Shadows episode 8 is an intriguing, if flawed, chapter that excels in setting up the Royal Institute of Healing arc and deepening Zenas' journey. The atmospheric visuals, earnest voice acting, and hints of conspiracy are clear strengths. However, the uneven pacing, trope-heavy writing, and lackluster animation are notable weaknesses, preventing the episode from fully capitalizing on its potential. I think it achieves its goal of transitioning to a broader stage but falls short of emotional depth, making it a moderately successful installment. I anticipate that the series must refine its balance of humor and drama to sustain its momentum. With its compelling premise and talented cast, I hope it leans into Zenas' moral dilemmas and the world's political intrigue to deliver a satisfying climax.